Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, Proud I Am. I'm doing a demo review of an Immortal Valorant game. I'm starting to do these, I'm going to start doing these pretty regularly. I do them anyways just to see how I can improve in the mistakes I'm making and the things I'm doing well. So, at any rate, basically just going to walk through the plays I make, kind of an overview of what you should be thinking, kind of see what you should be thinking about in like an Immortal level, Valorant level game. And I hope you enjoy. If you like it, you know, comment. Kind of just starting these, so bear with me as we kind of start making YouTube content. And if you, like I said, if you like it, you know, like, subscribe, and let me know what you like to see, and I'll keep making content. Okay. So with that,
I'm gonna recon your ramp.
so this is going into the early round. We're pretty heavy A, so we want to get pressure pretty quick. I flash in case that was bad. Don't flash yourself. I flash to clear that corner, flash here. I'm pushing with my team fast. We want to... I know where he is, so I'm pushing him. We need to get him off the site as quick as possible. Make sure they can't rotate. That's a pretty straightforward round, just, you know, an A rush. It's pretty standard A rush, smokes. Now we're in a post plant 3v3. He was kind of exposed. I think that was a good peek. He didn't really expect me to peek him, and he kind of got caught off guard. Now we're in a 3v2. Teammate gets picked. We're in a 2v2. I want to 2v1 this guy. Teammate, I do. That was pretty good. Now we're in a 1v1. Here I'm trying not to fight, but I accidentally over-peeked and he got me. I wasn't really expecting him to be there. He made a nice play. I really just wanted there. I should have just been jiggy peeking. I don't want to fight that 1v1. I just want to stall for time because it's really hard on that elbow. I can just run circles around him for like the rest of the round. I didn't really need to fight him there. That was a mistake by me pushing out. I kind of got worried that he was actually pushing left because he didn't peek right away, but I got myself caught, so that was a mistake. So here we're going to the next round. So now we're in the early round. We actually force here. I think forcing second round, especially when you go to plant, is actually the right thing to do. I know right now it's not really accepted. In CS, it's pretty standard. I think in this game, the difference between a plant buy and a first round buy is so small that you have to do it. Because like some players are gonna get Vandals, but I think that I don't even think they can get Vandal heavy armor usually, or if they do, they have no utility, which is bad. If they Vandal light armor, I think these SMGs are as good as a Vandal light armor buy. I don't really... And you can buy Stinger armor or you can buy Spectre armor. So here we're in the early round. We're kind of just watching for pushes, waiting to see what move they make. And we're kind of moving into the mid round now. We really want to... I think we're basically trying to get some mid control here. I'm watching flank because there's no reason for me to watch mid. I pre-aim the Sage, or the Breach here. He peeks, get the free headshot, because that's like a standard play. People really like to peek on the Sage wall, and if you just pre-aim it and hold it, you have the advantage, I think. I don't think that's the right... I think that'll become less and less common. So here, I molly the smoke so they can't push through, and as Phoenix, technically we should have had the bomb with us. One of these four should have had the bomb. This is kind of a mistake, the fact that we don't have a bomb. I wasn't really paying attention to that. It's kind of my own fault too. But here, because we got the pick on Breach, I don't want to wait too long. That means they probably only have 2B. Maybe they have 1 wires. I molly wires, so now it's probably 2B. So we can just explode onto B with 4, and we have a huge advantage. So I flash here, flash over the wall, push through. I kind of get stuck on that slow, but I do get the trade. I don't push through here. It's debatable that I should have. I think I stopped because of the slow. I wasn't sure how close behind me my teammates were. And then he gets the trade. So now we basically have the round. So now we just get into post plants. Did we end up losing this round? I think we might. So I would go to back plat. And I just kind of take a few shots, but I really don't commit to the fight. There's no reason to. We want to play off each other. I ulti here just to try to... Let's make sure we win the round. Yeah. And we actually end up getting it. So the ulti there was to just be able to get aggressive on them in the 3v2 and to make sure we won, because it was the second round bye and they'd be broke if we won the round. I think that was. It also let us get info about when they were pushing and let my teammates peek off of my push, and my push is basically free. It does end up clutching the round. Two other players can still actually buy because they didn't buy. This is a thing you see a lot. I don't know why people buy like pistol ammo second round. I think that's part of the reason why broken buying when you lose first round is good. So here, this is early round, right? So like I just stay sewers. I don't want to push into mid by myself. That's kind of reckless. They could have two guys up there peeking me. They could be pushing down. My team's all A, so I'm just holding for a push, kind of switching between watching B and watching mid. Most players that push out of B don't actually go CT. They just go straight into mid. So by playing here, I actually cover almost the entire flank.
Ramp is Slayer, by the way. Ramp is
So I don't just stand out in the open, because then if I'm kind of just exposed. I have no cover if they peek. Again, holding. My teammates are pushing A. They get a pick. I rotate back, and then I just post up short A. There's no reason for me to push the site. They already have site control. I don't need to also be in sight. I maybe should have stayed short A here. That's arguable. I just stay short A, watch flank. I kind of wanted to be here to help fight if they didn't come short A. I kind of had the feeling they weren't going to. So Sage wants to push Heaven here. I push with him.
one CT.
And yeah, it will just go back down. And here I just am posting up to watch the cross to site. Again, you don't just stand still holding an angle. If I just stand there, he can like jiggy see me and then pre-aim and peek me again. So you kind of want to always be moving. Even though in this game you want to stand still when you shoot, you should really always be moving when you're not shooting. This round's basically done, yeah. Okay, so we'll move on to the next round. How do we set up for this? So we set up for kind of a mid control, a mid B play. Mid B is probably the strongest play on this map, maybe A. A is tough because you kind of have to go 5A short, maybe one lurk, but B, it's actually reasonable to split. Really hard to take wires to A.
Not wire.
Strong if you can, but it's just the choke at the exit of A is so hard to get. Again, I pre-aim here, aim high so that if they peek, I actually am aiming at their head. Now I just wait. There's really no reason for me to peek here. There's not too much to gain. Just slow out. Just shouldering to see if they peek. So there, what happened actually, I walked up, I wanted to peek Heaven, but when I saw the smoke drop, it's basically impossible for me to take top B Heaven control or fight B Heaven if this isn't smoked wire room. So I fall back, wait for the smoke to drop. I don't know if I might have called a smoke, but wait for the smoke, right? Check, we get the other Sage slow out. So now, baiting out utility is a big part of the game. So now that both Sage slows are out, the wall's out, there's no way for them to delay our push. So once this slow is gone, you're gonna see me just explode into Heaven. He's gonna wall wire, so they can't flank. I kind of have a bad peek there. I think I flash again. No, I have no flash. I dodge that. Swing. He falls. I don't understand. I don't think Breach made the right play here. Breach just basically abandons Heaven and the Cypher loses the 3v1. He has no support from B Heaven. I guess they were playing 3A side, so this is like, it's kind of a weakness of not playing 3 on B. And I really don't think Breach should do this. Breach falling back gives us the site, gives us Heaven control, kind of throws the round. I think I stay Heaven here. I actually should stay Heaven there, I think, but what do? I just dropped to Hell. If here, my team kind of plays it sort of weird. Cypher is in sort of a bad spot. He really can't support the team. Brim is just hiding. What we should be doing here, because it's a 4v5, we actually do need to fight them, and we need to fight together. So I get the first pick. So I'm kind of the first contact. We want them to peek me, because to peek me, they have to fully expose themselves to this angle, and they have to look down to the left. All of my team's to the right and pretty far away, so even the guy here, if he peeked, they basically are fully exposed if they peek me. So no one needs to peek until I get peeked. I get the first kill. See, he starts to swing. I don't think actually, I don't think I should have kept swinging. I actually think I should have tucked back in there and just made them fully commit to me. So I end up going down. I think we end up losing this round actually. People take too many 1v1 and lose them. What he did just there, he just basically walk peeked 3 people and died. The exact thing you want to avoid. Anyways, I'm gonna move on to the next round. Oh, we do end up losing. Again, this is early round, so I'm actually in a bad spot. I think it's okay that I'm A. I don't think I should be challenging short A here. It's kind of risky, but I think I do it pretty passively. Kind of pre-fire. I think I see a Sova. Kind of reckless. I think that I could easily get punished there. I don't think I should be doing that. I think shooting this corner here is fine. I want to show presence A actually. That is why I'm doing that. Because I don't want these guys to say, oh, there's no one A, we should rotate. So again, I just kind of hold here. I flash, I don't peek. I just wanted to push the upper off. A lot of times if you flash an upper, they'll fall back. They won't even try to re-peek because they don't know if like 3 guys just peeked out. So now I'm regrouping with my team. We're kind of moving into the mid, like obviously we're in the mid round, kind of moving into late round where we need to really do an execute. We need to get a bomb site. So I take the lead as Phoenix. I generally do this. A lot of people are afraid to entry frag. This is pretty sweet. So I managed to dodge this. So immediately, I actually, because I dodged the ulti, I go back to challenge. Because they're not going to be expecting people to peek them. They're going to kind of be running at me, running down this stairwell to get a free kill. And by peeking them, they're going to be caught off guard. So this Sage, right? She's actually holding W when I peek her. So let's watch. So she's holding W. Anytime someone's holding W, because of how, it's actually kind of funny, because of WASD, you use 3 fingers to move. It's the hardest thing to do is to stop with W. In this game, I think you don't need a counter strafe, so it's not as bad. You just let go of W. But basically, he's completely caught off guard by this peek. Get him, and this guy, he's clearing mailroom. Again, like I said, he's really not expecting this peek. And we get 2 frags. And now their Cypher's stuck on B alone, so we just explode into sight. I'm pushing with my teammate. I'm clearing CT. I think we end up losing. So I expected the Cypher to be B main. That's the play that I would have made if I was Cypher. I would have pushed into B main. I forget what he ended up doing. He actually went CT, then pushed into the smoke. So this is a pretty good play by the Cypher. He throws his smokes up, goes into CT, doesn't peek when we cross, and then pushes through the brimstone smoke when we plant. I don't know. I'm not sure if this is a play we should have expected or someone should have been holding the smoke. Someone definitely should have been holding the smoke. Just because you put a smoke down, you shouldn't treat it like a wall, but he hit a really good timing there. That was a really good play. I whiffed there. I think I ended up getting... So, that kind of was that. I just die here. I do something weird. But I'm not sure what this is. I think my thinking here is I'm gonna throw smoke and cross. But then I kind of make this reckless play. This is a bad play. So I basically just walk out and challenge the opper, but like I'm fully exposed to short A. So if anyone's playing short A correctly, I just die, which is exactly what happens. That's what you call inting. Very, very kind of reckless decision. Again, so I'm solo A, I'm not really gonna challenge. I probably made a little noise, maybe I didn't make any noise to see if they push. I'm kind of just making sure they don't push. I know we have a trip here, but this trip is actually really good. When someone hits a trip, you kind of can just peek them and they'll get caught off guard. So I'm just waiting to see if they're there, and now I'm gonna rotate back to the team to try to push a site. Because it makes no sense for me to push A if my teammates are all B. So I walk back because they can actually, if they're short A, they can hear you all Anyone in this section of the map can hear all of this. You have to walk all through it.
I'm late.
We get a pick on B. This is actually, remember this round. So this is interesting. So I clear the wall. I'm trying to get him to wall. So now, so they just rezzed Breach. Breach actually died on B. So what we actually know is that 3 guys are probably B site, and there's no one B heaven. That's kind of the read that I get from that play, because Cypher could have rotated to B heaven, but even then, 1's not bad. But they probably have 2 B site. Once you get control of B heaven, having 2 guys B site is terrible. So I explode into B heaven here pretty aggressively. I don't flash. I wasn't expecting Phoenix there at all, but luckily his flash went by me, so I was able to win the duel. And now there's 3 on B. Our team's actually calling off the B push. He might be right, but they're in a really bad spot here. They're basically 3 guys holding the bomb site, and we have B heaven and B main. So they are trying to cover too many angles. And now we find out they're both B hell, which is even worse. But this, they really have no chance to hold this. So we end up taking it. So now that we have more people here, I actually play pretty aggressively here. So I hold that angle while I'm pushing. My teammates should be holding this angle. Push out. We have smokes down. I think we get wrecked here. Okay, so he gets kind of owned. I don't think what... I'm not sure what the Phoenix... if the Phoenix made the right play there. I don't think he mollied, or maybe that was his molly. His molly was bad for sure. So I'm holding heaven here. My teammates have sight. We know Phoenix is the sight player, so is the heaven player. So we can kind of safely assume there's no one sight. You should still clear it. I hold heaven to make sure no one walks through the smoke. And then I transfer to... I was going to transfer to hell. I have a teammate already there. I don't want to put double stack, so I just go underneath here.
Your breach always comes from CT. It's not from CT.
So again, I'm just kind of waiting. I asked my teammate here to actually hold my heaven for me, because I don't have a good angle on it, and he has a better angle, and I can cover him here. That's good. That's the man. So again, we have 3 people here. So with 3 people, I'm willing to get aggressive. I don't know if they have a buy, but I just kind of peek here. I think that's kind of reckless, but from a timing point of view, I actually think it's pretty hard. I think the timing's about the same if we both peek. So they're at a disadvantage if we double peek, which is... Cypher... I don't really know what Cypher's doing right now. I don't think he should be doing what he's doing. Probably be posted up on short. So my Sage is peeking. I'm holding heaven. Cypher's should not be doing what he's doing. Our guy B gets a 2v1. It's technically good for us because he gets the kill, but it's risky because if he had just got picked, that's a huge disadvantage for us. He smokes. I called that smoke. Sage should have waited for the smoke before pushing. I think there's a gap. That's how he sees me. I'm not sure, but he has a pretty good shot on me and takes me down. Smoking short A like that and crossing is really powerful. You get a lot of control of A site by doing this smoke and crossing, because now you have some guys A short. These guys upper might challenge, but it's a good duel for you. You don't have to necessarily take control of heaven. It pushes an A guy back here, pushes the A guy here. It makes it much more difficult for the defenders to hold A with one person. When you get a guy posted like here and you know they're not short A, this wires guy doesn't have to play A. Once he can choose to, obviously, if you think they might push it, but you can actually control A with one person by having info so early. So getting control of short A forces them to have 2A, maybe even 3. It really weakens their mid defense. What they probably do is rotate one to wires and have one be heaven. Now obviously this might not apply at like an iron level game or bronze level game. Kind of depends on how people play. But I think if you do, like if you pay attention to the kind of core macro things going on, like playing with your teammates, holding instead of pushing solo, things like that. There's some things to learn. And maybe I'll make a point of like focusing on something in the...
One hell.
I wait for the wall, and the wall I peek. Probably should have flashed.
Under
I
heaven.
think they might be eco, which is why I didn't. I'm not sure why I didn't
Could've flashed
flash.
you, probably.
Maybe because Sage had already peeked. I pre-fire that angle. And I keep holding it. I really expected someone to be there. It's weird to just walk into B heaven and have no one there. That's just... Maybe they stacked. It's just kind of strange. So I wasn't really expecting it. Cypher gets caught out. Cypher... I don't think Cypher should have been there, but worked out. So we pushed together. I maybe shouldn't have peeked CT there. It's kind of risky, but it does work. So as soon as I get res here, actually the molly's already down. I didn't need the molly. I molly as well to make sure that the breach can't push up his ult. Then I get him to cover. So I tuck into this corner. I don't love this spot. I think I actually should have gone hell maybe. I think that's actually the play.
What happened, Pinky?
Yeah, I think hell's the play here. But I stay here. I don't really want to move now that I'm there.
Just hide
I know someone's watching this. I double flash just to stall. I end up peeking getting the frag, but it was a trade. Not sure if it was a good peek. I'm trying to think. So I know, let's see. I'm trying to think what went through my head. So I think my Sage dies. Yeah, so my Sage dies. These guys are all kind of holding my heaven, but oh, and then he dies. So now I know that I'm kind of fully exposed. I'm gonna get pincered from hell and CT. I think the play is actually for me to go up against this wall and peek hell. I just peek CT though, and I didn't get a good read on the situation. I definitely should not have peeked CT there. Should have peeked the hell player. That's the play. So I should have tucked into the wall and been fighting the hell guys instead of what I did. Although I got the kill, so it made it okay. But I think the play is actually wrong. And then we win the round. Okay, so early round again. Cypher gets a pick short A. This guy kind of peeks recklessly, gets popped. I'm playing mid slow. I don't, as you see, I don't even like peek this corner. I don't want to risk. Maybe they have a double stack here. Maybe they have an opper here. Maybe they're just pre-aiming and they have a really good reaction time. So I think about flashing. I decide not to. I think I just jiggy it.
Phoenix.
But yeah, you see, like, I make sure they're not posted up before taking control of the corner. So I think I call for Sage to wall, or she just pushes into wires. The reason I'm pushing in, Sova started ulting here. A lot of players just kind of recklessly run away from Sova ultis because otherwise you'll die. But what that does, it actually opens up the location for a push. So now I'm walking. I don't want them to know that I'm here. I want to kind of catch them off guard. He flashes, I spray, and I think I molly it so that I can push, and so that way he can't really peek into me with the molly out. We got the pick on B site, so I know B site's safe. Usually only one B. And so you see here, as like a correction to an earlier play, I actually I don't like this ulti. Forget why I chose to use it. I know there's CT. I don't flash, and I just kind of feed. I think that's a pretty weak play. I don't think it made a lot of sense. So now I get out of that spot. I think I recognized from earlier that the spot's not that good, and I just go hell. I have a guy holding my heaven, so this is a really strong spot. All I need to do is hold. This guy's gonna watch B main. If anyone pushes, I'm gonna hold CT, and he has heaven, so you basically have the whole site covered. I don't really want to post up on an angle. I just want to catch them pushing into the site. I'm kind of jigging, waiting to see if they push. Don't peek, I flash. Just to then I actually rotate. I decide not to play hell. He pushes into the site. He's at a huge disadvantage, and I can just flank. So I flank him and get the free frag, and that kind of ends the round. They're actually going to try to save. That's why sometimes, like, not peeking is so strong. It's not so much that it's a better defense. It's hard to just run out and get the fight, and a lot of players will elect not to push, and they'll run themselves out of time by not playing fast enough. And it's kind of correct, because if they play too fast and they run in, people will peek them while they're running, and if you get caught running, you're going to probably lose the gunfight. Really don't want to be caught in like a full sprint. And on top of that, they know exactly where you are, so they can just kind of wreck you. So again, here I don't play super aggressive. I think what I'm doing is I think I just flash and don't peek. Yeah, because I have a teammate here, so it's okay, but we're kind of exposed. They could push out B main. We have no info. We don't have a Cypher trap. Most of my team is A, and we have no smokes. Okay, we ended up double peeking the Opper. I don't think the Opper's in a good spot. He was basically just in this cubby. Kind of got wrecked. But see, that's exactly what ends up happening, right? Kind of what I said at the start. I don't think what we're doing is smart. They end up pushing out a B main, getting me for free. I don't even get a chance to shoot, so it doesn't even matter how good my aim is. And then he ends up getting the Sage as well. We got pretty lucky to get 2 kills, me and Sage. I think we should have lost that round. We might end up losing it anyways, but I'm not sure, so I'm gonna go. Let's move on. So now we're on defense. I like Phoenix Anchor on A. I think he's really strong. He has a lot of mechanics to fight when he's outnumbered. And he's good at stalling rushes more than smokes are. Smokes are okay at stalling rushes in this game. Here I like to do this, just walk up and flash if you hear someone, and sometimes even if you don't. I hear a number of people, so I just immediately drop back. I don't want to fight from that position. I want to get cover so that I can get away if I need to. The Sova arrow hits 5. I molly to make sure they can't push, and I just play sight. I don't need to fight them. So this is actually interesting. So my team takes the duel when they're in this choke. I don't think they should. They really want to post up more here so that if they push to sight, like they should play like maybe here and here, and they should be holding the push to sight, not this push to sight, because I can't shoot them here. So these guys are actually just full peeking and only paying attention to heaven. I could push up and try to peek, but it's a huge disadvantage to me, and they can easily tuck in. You really want to get them out of this choke before you start fighting them, as you can. Obviously, my teammates have a good angle, but kind of whiff there. I don't just stand there and fight. He's gonna re-peek and know exactly where I am. I don't want to fight that. I know the Cypher's coming elbow. I'm watching that, but he ends up getting me. But I did end up stalling for quite a bit of time. Maybe could have played that better. I mean, I should have probably had the Cypher. I think my 2 players heaven dying really put me in a bind. And I do end up whiffing on the Cypher at the end.
Yeah, as much damage as quick peek,
I
and they've literally
don't
just
have any utility.
Okay. I'm dead. What happened? Oh, so we just full save here. I kind of just recklessly peek out. I don't think that's the right play. I think it's just kind of feeding. It's just giving them the round. I think you have a chance with classics if you play smart. You do need to get headshots really to get kills with classics in ecos, but they're actually very strong. A lot stronger than I think CS basic pistols are. Mostly because the aim punch is based on headshot, not on armor. So the fact that they have full armor doesn't really affect your ability to aim punch them. So if you hit like a headshot, they can't hit you for like a second or 2. So maybe more like a second. So I flash here and peek. I don't just hold the angle. Standing in the angle means he can pre-aim me and peek me. I kind of jiggy back and forth, take some shots, and fall back. Kind of a nice aftershock. It basically prevents me from getting the orb. I just fall back. I'm keeping some pressure here. I don't really want to fight. Kind of a aim duel that isn't worth taking. The aim duels we want to take, we really want them to get into this pocket so that we can both peek together. Kind of weak though. Not sure. Short A is a weird site. So at this point, I drop back. I think this is a really strong spot for an A player. You basically jiggy back and forth, just watching a crack here. When people peek short A, they usually come out, check this corner, and then they cross and check this. So if you're peeking at this angle, you'll catch a lot of people looking heaven. And it's really hard for them, because if you're just like popping in and out like this, you might just dodge their gaze, and then they have no chance, because they're not even going to be looking at you. You only need to check every once in a while. We're just making sure they're not walking into sight at this point. We're not trying to hold the corner, we're just making sure they're not pushing. Now that we have so many people dying on B, I think I tell my teammate to rotate and I just post up. The reason I'm not rotating, even though there's so much pressure A, is no one called 5 and we haven't seen Spike. I think this game's still young, so you don't see a lot of fakes, and the fakes are pretty weak, but so immediately on that flash, I take my knife out and run away. There's really no way for me to challenge at that point. That forces me back. I counter flash there. I don't know exactly where they are. I don't know if they just immediately started running. My Sova had dropped back, so I flashed to delay the push a little bit. Lets me get a molly down. Then I drop back to sight, and I'm just trying to anchor here. So I'm just trying to stay alive. I want to make sure that if they have to push me, I want them to have to push to sight. I don't want to get an aim duel and die from guys under heaven who are safe. I want them to be in this choke when I fight them so that my teammates are also at an advantage against them. So I'm checking, just making sure they're not pushing. Flash, peek right, okay there. Again, like I said, I'm not just standing out and fighting. My job is to not die, not to... My job is to not die, not to get kills here.
Come up, happen.
He's under heaven.
Everything is open.
And so see, that's what ends up happening. What ends up happening is because they never pick me, they never actually push to sight. And so we hold the site and they can't get the bomb down, which puts us, gives us the edge. They end up both being top A. We're in a 2v2 now. I actually leave site. I'm expecting them to think I'm site. So by leaving site, I'm hoping to catch them off guard. Cypher gets the pick.
He's going B. He has a trap in fence.
And now I know I expect him to go B here, mostly because they know I'm the A player. He could fake it, but he probably thinks I'm gonna like dilly-dally, wait around to see if he leaves. I'm just assuming he's leaving. I'm running. He plants at B. I run as close to the site as I think I can before he would hear me, and then I start walking. So I'm kind of just assuming... I don't know exactly where he is until this point. Once I see the bomb, I know he's CT. I'm thinking he's probably pushing heaven. But I decided to walk CT mostly because I did not expect him to think I was there. I expected him to think I'd be here or have to drop. Thought I'd catch him off guard. And I do, actually, but I think I got a little lucky. If he had a gun out there, he actually wins that fight. He was putting his camera up though. But like I said, I kind of thought I had gotten there so fast, he wouldn't be expecting the player there. So I flash, I shoulder, I hear one close left, and I just retreat. Again, I don't want to fight them. I don't want to fight this corner. It's pretty advantageous for them. And now they're pushing out, and I just kind of missed my gun duel. I probably should have. So if you look at that fight, I probably don't want to commit like I did. It gets back to the point of staying alive. We're in a 4v5. This isn't a high percentage duel. Like my teammate, I don't think my teammate's even dueling. No, so he's on a drone. He's not ready to fight. I could have just taken those 2 shots and ran here, and instead I kind of commit. He hits a good shot though too, so it's hard to say. But I think those are those cases where staying alive would have been the more effective play. We end up winning the round though somehow. Again, like I said, flash, I just run. I don't hear a ton of noise, but I do flash to check. And he kind of peeked up, he heard my flash. He was probably watching it, but his teammates don't follow. Maybe because of the flash, maybe just because they don't. And that's the risk of just running out like that. I mean, he's kind of he has to clear both these corners at the same time. And he's probably looking this way all the way to here. And then at some point he turns over, but Sova catches him off guard. So I ult through this. This is for info, basically. I want to know if they're here. I don't think I needed to ulti. I'm not sure if it was worth it, but we basically, completely clear A,
Are they mid?
so we know they're not A. I just push through on this.
Ping, like over here?
I take the ultimate orb first. I don't. Yeah, I kind of wasn't sure what I should do, but I think I end up pushing.
Got one mid.
Right side.
Yeah, so I push out here. The reason I push out is I want my teammate to be able to rotate. So now we have 3 holding B and mid.
Teammate.
We have A with 1 person.
Thank you.
I don't push all the way through.
Towards B. Our Phoenix is in T spawn.
Yeah, and then the reason I don't is I don't want them to be able to walk sewer.
That's
I'm just
outside
kind of
B, mate.
holding
That's outside B, mate.
and I'm listening. They rezzed outside B, so now I'm assuming they're B.
Three, maybe
So
more.
I'm just gonna think full commit.
Yeah,
Some
B
B
tons,
main,
B
yeah.
tons.
So these guys are calling BBB, so I'm full committing to go clear it.
Nice.
One more bottom mid. Two.
It's B, it's B, it's B, it's B.
They walled ropes.
They end up going B heaven. They like clear mid and then go B heaven. Not sure why.
One enemy remaining.
One more heaven. Hey, he
10
dropped out,
seconds
dropped out.
left.
He dropped, he dropped.
No time. No time.
I don't need to peek here. He's out of time. I just come in for the kill after. So now that time's up and I'm ahead in rounds, I come in just to get the free kill if I can. He's completely cut up guard by that. I don't push through. I pushed last round. I'm afraid that they might be pushing. I use a molly to cover my orb. And I drop back.
A lot mid.
Sova drones here.
There.
These ones there.
One B main by himself.
Sova's pushing out, so I rotate off.
Yeah.
No need, because we're so pushed up A, if Sova gets picked, I'll have plenty of time to go wires to A and defend A. We can kind of lean heavily mid and B, 2-2 or 2-3,
Close to the mid smoke.
or 1-3. So I make a mistake here. I flash that ulti,
I'm back.
which does hit them, but because they're actually, it's something weird to think about. Because they're planning on pushing heaven, and I don't know why no one's holding this. It's actually a better question almost. They don't get that blinded by it because they're not looking at it, and the Phoenix hits a sweet flick on me to take me out. If I had actually just kept my gun out here, so
The mid smoke.
let's watch this. So he ulties. I immediately go to flash. If I just keep my gun out and hold that corner, that's a free Sova. I get Sova, he's looking the other way,
Backing up.
and then Phoenix doesn't know what to do. I think Sova ends up maybe getting a pick. Does. So that would have been the round. If I just keep my gun out there and hold the push into B mailroom, we win that round. And instead we lose. So that's like one decision costing a round. That seems so small, right? Just me deciding to flash here instead of shooting
Close to the
lost this round. Because I need to defend these guys. I think I'm doing that by flashing, but all I'm really doing is trying to defend myself. I don't need to peek out and get a triple kill. I just need to prevent them from getting pushed because I know they're getting ulted.
getting ulted.
And part of it is understanding where the enemies are. I'm thinking they're like further down and pushing up. I didn't know they were in stairwell. But in either case, me just keeping my gun out, making them, giving them a fight, slowing them down, that's all I needed to do there. And killing the Sova would have been a much more relevant play than what ended up happening. Okay. I do this a lot. I think it's pretty decent. Gets you a decent amount of info. Sometimes I swing a little more aggressively. In general, I don't get too wild there.
Bro.
Our Sova gets picked,
Oh, 4 there.
so
I killed.
I'm kind of jiggying. I realize the Molly's not covering the push.
Let's go.
I see them peek. I flash here to re-peek, and I do end up losing the duel. I think that's a big mistake. I don't think I should flash that. I think I drop back to sight. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to contest that. I've already lost short A. My teammate's dead. There's no advantage to me fighting here. I should play off my brimstone and fall back to sight and wait for that peek. It might not have mattered. I mean, we end up kind of getting owned, but just every little decision like that adds up. Giving yourself the most optimal chance of winning. And a big part of that is trying to take duels where you have the advantage instead of them.
Like normal.
And I think that was a duel that they had the
maybe
advantage.
2 now.
So we kind of gamble stacked A. We have like a weird buy. We find no one A, and we've kind of, I started to recognize at least,
3
they tend to
here.
like telegraph where they're going. If they're outside A, they go A. If they're outside B, they go B. So I fast rotate, our whole team fast rotate. I don't think it ends up mattering. You know, I don't really hit any of these shots. And now it's a 2v. So not much to say about this one.
Might just play for exit here. Try to get some.
I'm kind of just trying to get a nice headshot. Cypher has a nice play in the rope. Probably should have expected the rope push.
They're gonna fight back from
Maybe
them.
there's.
They haven't faked yet.
But they actually arrow me there, and I drop back immediately, mostly because of the camera.
To A.
I flash and I peek. I don't commit to it though. I only see one. These guys might be about to peek. If I commit to fighting the breach, I'm almost certainly gonna die to their follow-on crew. So I just fall back, I molly, and now I play sight. I think this is a good example of correcting a mistake from earlier. I don't take the duel that I took before. That was an unfortunate play. They reacted pretty well to the flash. The Sage dodged it. I wasn't really able to fight the Phoenix, and I didn't want to stay exposed. By staying exposed, I'm almost certainly gonna trade, and I really can't afford to trade here. I do end up only getting one, but I stall as long as I can. So it gives us a decent chance, and see, by stalling the way I did, the Phoenix still isn't in sight, which means our 2 teammates get a free kill on him. There. The Sage ends up hitting a good shot. I probably could have taken out the Sage. I didn't realize she had an op. I didn't recognize that. But yeah, they end up getting a res. But that was a tough situation. I mean, they had a really good... It's pretty tough. Once they get... If I'm playing sight like this, once they kind of clear this corner here, I'm at a pretty big disadvantage because they have so much room to work with, and I'm just playing this box. It's probably better for me to be playing elbow more. I've been playing a lot on this box here. Elbow gives me a lot more options. It lets me actually play the angle that these guys are playing. So that's maybe a correction I should make. Play more of the elbow spot. Lets me fight more with the guy actually in the ravine, which plays more off of where people like to peek from heaven. And then on top of that, it always gives me the option to come out here and fight. It's a pretty good flash too, to flash from here. And it's better cover, right? This is full spammable, this is not. So probably a change that I'll want to make in the future when I flash, see nobody. And I actually call the B, but at this point it's kind of late. I think our team has
One's gonna be late mid.
sick around. Yeah, see, they just get stuck, and then Sage has a super sweet wall. She walls herself up and just... I kind of waste my ulti. I didn't know that was going to happen. I don't think I needed to ulti.
Is he tunnel?
Yeah, that was a bad ulti.
Alright, I'll watch the cross.
It's on you, so far he's gonna be on you.
Yeah.
So now, what we end up doing is we know there's an opera in B main. He's just watching the exit. So we know she has to be in B main. I clear this wall so I have an angle. And I actually call my teammate over to double stack a angle, so hitting it. So what this means is like, we're both playing the same exact angle. If this Sage peeks, she's exposed to both of us. At best, she hits one of us with an op. We probably both hit her once. And she's just, there's no way she wins. There's no way she kills both, obviously. And more than likely, she dies almost instantly. She ends up getting headshotted though. I have this round. I must have got pushed.
Yeah, because that's what I wanted, but whatever. I'll just go.
Well, I decided not to put any pressure on A this round. I just want to play really safe and play a different angle.
Let me go. I'm gonna get some info mid.
I rotate to elbow,
I'm joining mid.
and then I just go into my standard spot and kind of jig here. I end up getting... And that's my point about that spot, right? These guys don't want to let us know that they're A, so there's actually one guy already probably short A. He's probably a trailer. He gets spotted by me just checking if someone's walking. I get that kill. I don't continue to look for kills, I just drop back to site. Again, I should probably be playing A here. I molly to delay the push. I flash and peek right with it. They've already crossed to site, so I know he's here. Oh, that was actually an ulting Phoenix, so he dissipates. I drop back to elbow now. I want to change my spot. I don't want them to. They're expecting me site. End up just kind of closing this game out.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
So that's
GG's.
the game. I hope that was useful. You know, as people, as I start to do more of these and people give comments and feedback, kind of adjust what I'm talking about. But I am trying to focus on the mistakes I'm making so that I can kind of improve my own play. So hope you enjoyed that. Like, subscribe if you enjoy this content. I'm gonna keep making it. I do the demo reviews daily anyways, so I'm just kind of commentating my own thought process. I didn't focus too much on my aim that game and how I pre-aimed. I think my crosshair placement was okay for the most part, but probably could be improved. So at any rate, thanks for watching, and like I said, like, subscribe, comment if you're interested in seeing more of these.